Good morning everyone. My name is Arslan and you are watching Proper Tech Tutorial. So welcome back to the series of learning SiemensNX from beginner to pro. And today we'll be starting the part 14 of our series, that is the creation of advanced curves part 2, advanced sketching tools. And the things which will be covered in that, I will just let you go through the syllabus. And these are creating derived lines, fillet, chamfer, and then trim, extend and create corner. So first of all, we'll start with creation of derived lines. Okay, so I've created the uh, file already. I'll just delete all the things and then we'll start afresh. Okay, so first thing first, I have to select the sketch orientation. It will be XY, and then we'll start with our topic of derived lines. So what is derived lines is actually, you know about the concept of vectors. For example, if you have these two components and you want to create a vector from a y and a x, then the resulting vector will be the culmination or the vectorial addition of both the lines. So if another way around, if you resolve this vector, you will get a y component and an x component. So making a vector out of its x and y, or its planar components, is the concept of derived lines. But the concept of angle is only used while using a derived lines. You can even create a derived line that is much longer than the existing components, or you can create a derived line that is much smaller than the existing components. So let us try it out. I will create three samples for you. I will create one as this in 90-degree fashion in x and y axis. Then I will create a line that is like it should be 445 degrees, and then I will create another line that is 400 and 315 degrees, that is 360 minus 45 or minus 45 degrees. Okay, so this I have created, and I will keep it like this. And after that, I will also create another thing, another example for you to understand the concept of derived lines, that is this. So just for your sake, I will create a line in order to understand that these two lines are different and separated at this point. Now, we will search for the derived lines. If you use the derived lines concept, or you think that you will be using derived lines concept too much, then you can add it in your ribbons as customization. With the help of customization, if you do not want it, anything is possible if you just search it. So I'll select the derived lines tool, and after that what I will do is that I will do a left click, I will select one line, I will select another line, and the line that is derived will get previewed, you will see. And if I want to create it at the length of, for example, 150, I will just input the length and I will press tab, and you will see that the line, derived line, has been created. If I want to edit it, I can just double click on the dimension and I can write 300 and press enter, and the line will be edited. After that, let us get what the result will be for the second example. I will select this line and I will select this line, and you will see that it is getting at 0 degrees, because 45 and minus 45 will give you 0 degrees. As I told you that only the concept of angle is used. If something is at 0 degrees and 90 degrees, so 90 plus 0 divided by 2, or 45 and minus 45, that will be 45 plus of minus 45, that is 0, divided by 2 will also be 0. So this will be the derived line. You can also check the angle if it is 0 or not, and you will see that it is 0 degree. Now coming to another third example which you want to see, is that I will select this line, so I will select another line, and you will see that as of now we are not getting any result. So is it that we have selected the wrong input? No, we are not. If you take the cursor just beyond the either of the lines, you will see that line starts to get visible. If I try to take it over here, this line starts to get visible. Therefore, over here, this was 0 degrees. So you see this was 0 degrees and this was not the derived line, rather line 59, the original line. And this line, I forgot to select the angular dimension. I will select it again. Oh, sorry for that, I am not quite well, and therefore sometimes my decisions are not getting properly done. So you see that this has 180 degrees and this first line has 0 degrees. So 0 plus 180, when you divide it, it will give you 90 degrees. So as per our 180 will give you 90 degrees. But as you see that that is not the case, because when you take vectors, for example, I take a line over here and I take another line over here. So if we had to resolve such components, what was the result? That since both of them are in opposite direction, it will not create a line in 90 degrees. It will create a line in the direction of the longest line. Okay, so here, since the concept of length is not used, we can make the line either here or either here. So these are the three types of results which we saw while creating derived lines. If you want, you can create a line that is making an obtuse angle also, and you will see what is the result. I'll select this line, I'll select this line, and it is getting that angle and this angle divided by 2, and it will give you this derived line. Okay, so this was for the concept of derived lines. Now what we will do is that we'll create another datum. We'll finish this sketch environment and I will select another datum, coordinate system, and I just want to place it like over here. So I will, that is two, I do not mind that. I just want to keep it in the same as that of y-axis, and therefore I will keep the x to be 0, and you will see that the coordinate system has been created like this. Now I will orient it as per my feasibility. I will select the sketch environment and I am good to go. Now what we have to do with the trim environment is that I will create certain lines. I have created certain lines and we'll see what are the options that are available with trim and extend curve. So trim and extend are something which I use frequently, so I've kept it in my ribbon with the help of customization. So first we'll get the trim curve. So first option that is instantaneously available after you select trim curve, that is curve to trim, that is quick trim. Therefore, if you select a curve, it will get trimmed till the nearest intersection point, and that is this. If I will select this curve, it will get trimmed to the nearest intersection point. Similarly, if I select this, it will get trimmed to the nearest intersection point. If I want to trim this, it will get trimmed on both the intersection points. Therefore, this will be null and void. If I want to trim this, it will get trimmed like this. However, if I if I want to trim it with the help of a reference or a boundary curve, for example, I want to trim this line till this part. So I will just select the boundary curve to be this and the curve to trim to this, and therefore the curve will get trimmed this till this boundary line. Now, coming to the extend curve. If I want to extend, I will just select the extend tool, or I will write extend and I will search for it. So the first option is quick extend, and that will extend the line to the nearest possible intersection that can be created with that line. So it is getting extended, another, and then again it is getting extended. Now it will not get extended because there are no possible intersection points. If I create another line, then you will see that extend option again comes into effect and extends the line till this boundary. Another option of extending the curve is that I will select the boundary curve as this, and I will select the curve to extend at this, and I will create it like this. So this is also an option of creating extend curve with the help of boundary tool. Now, coming to the fourth topic, the second and third topic, that is fillet and chamfer. Okay, so fillet and chamfer, what do they do? I will let you know that first we'll select fillet, and the first option, that is the dynamic or the option of using your input mouse as input as a dynamic input, you will have the option of creating fillet. So there are basically two options that are present for creating a fillet. First is the trim method and second is the untrim method. You also have the option of delete third curve and create alternate fillet, that will be discussed after we discuss these two. So first is the most common trim method, and this will give you such type of result. Now, coming to the untrim method, if I select this curve and I select this curve, then the original curves that were used to make the fillet will not be deleted and they will be as it is. So you see the difference for that. So now we have seen the option of trim and untrim curve. Now we'll come to the option of delete third curve. So in these two options, we were using the method of creating a fillet, that is by selecting the first and second line. Also we made by selecting the untrim method, that is that. The delete third curve method comes into effect when we make a fillet by creating two separate lines, that is like this, the lines which are not actually joined directly. So this will create a fillet somewhat like this, and you will see that it is trimming the extra part. The other method of doing that is that I will select this curve. I will select this curve. First of all, I will select the fillet, and then I will select this curve and this curve, and you will see that it is creating a fillet. I did not select any third line, therefore it did not get deleted. Now I will select the third line and let you know what is the result. That is, I will select this line, I will select this line, and I will select this line, and this line that was tangent to the arc has been deleted. So that is the use of deleting of third line. If you want the line that was actually made for the purpose of reference, that I want to create a fillet that should be tangent to that line or something like that, then the option of deleting third line is very useful. Similarly, if I want to create a fillet over here and I want to delete this line, and therefore it will get deleted. Now the option of using toggle create alternate fillet is that if I want to create a fillet and like I want to create it at like 45 radius, so I will do what is that I will see that I have four options of creating fillet: 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, if I toggle this, then you will see that I am getting a fillet that is somewhat different. I am getting the remaining other part of the fillet that was not present in the first time. And if I will again deselect it, you will see that we are back to the previous result. So these are the four options that are available in fillet. And now we'll come to the topic of chamfer. And chamfer allows you to create three types of chamfers. We'll discuss one by one. The first is symmetric. I will select one line and another line, and you will see that a symmetric chamfer is being created. I want it to be at 50. I will enter the value, press tab, and then click on it. The first option was by creating fillet on two adjacent sides. The second option is by creating fillet on opposite sides, whether it be parallel or intersecting, and you will get a fillet. And the second option is that the third option is that you get the option of not trimming the input curve. That is, if I select this line and I select this line, first I have to select the chamfer option. I will select this line and I will make a oh, oh, I will deselect the trim input curve I will select the first line, second line and create a fillet. You will see that the remaining lines, the curves are not getting, the input curves are not getting deleted. The second method of making a fillet is a symmetric method, in which you can take either two lines and you can specify the distance and lock it for creation of multiple fillets. Like I want to create it like 100 and 200, and you will see that this has been made like this, and I want to again create like this, and then I want to create like this, and then I want to create like, so this lock button allows you to create multiple fillets simultaneously. Similarly, in symmetric, if you can lock this dimension, you can create multiple fillets accordingly. Another option is using offset and angle. So offset and angle allows you to create a fillet that is at a distance and at an angle. So I will select the value. For example, I want it to be 250 at an angle of, I want it to be 45, and I will select this line and I will select this line, and you will see that the value is having, it is like this. So this is 45 degrees with the first line. Similarly, if I want to have it like I want to have 90 degrees, so what will I do? I will select this line and I will select this line, and you will see that I will just decrease the value. I will make it 50. It is now 90 degrees with the first line selected. So this is the use of using offset and angle. And now coming to our last topic, that is creation of corner. Okay, so what is actually the use of creation of corner? Let us see. Now, taking this curve again and using the option of create corner, you can do what? You can either extend the extra, you can either trim the extra lines that are in continuity of the same line and are exceeding the boundary of one line. That is, if I want to make it like this, it will get trimmed automatically. If I want to do it like this, it will make the corner automatically. If I want to make it like this, it will create the corner automatically, and so forth. The second option is that if you want to, like, see, I will trim this line. Let us say I trim this line, okay, and I want to create a corner. I will select this line and I will select this line, so it will automatically extend to the nearest location. So it has two purposes. Either it will create it has two purposes for extending the line and intersecting the line, but the primary purpose of creating corner tool is that to create a corner and nothing else. So now you see that I am selecting these two lines and it is not getting trimmed. And why is that? The reason for that is that this line is line 75 in one continuity and this line is line 73. So these two are two distinct lines, and this trim curve, extend curve and corner tool works when that is the part of the same line. For example, if I have a line that is line 73 and I want to remove it, so if I will use trim tool, it will remove it totally. Understand that? It will remove it totally. So it will act as a delete button. If there are any intersections in between, possible intersections in between, it will either trim it, or possible intersections, it will either extend it. So corner tool is used in continuity when lines are in continuity. I will just show you another example for your clarification. I will create a rectangle and then I will create a line, and then I will create another line that is like this. Now I will use the extend tool and make it something like this, and this line is not required, therefore I will delete it. Now you will see that this line is one single line in continuity, and this line are two different distinct lines. If I will use the corner tool and I will select this and this, it will trim the extra part of that continuous line. If I will select this and this, it will not have any effect. If I will select this and this, it will also not have any effect. So I hope that you understood the concept of creating derived lines, fillet, chamfer, trim, extend, and creation of corner. So in the next video, we'll be starting with part 15 or learning Siemens NX from beginner to pro, and it will have the syllabus of offset, mirror, project, and intersection curve. So in case you like the series, do hit the subscribe button and like our videos. And till the next time we meet, goodbye.